Welcome to the Power of Peace podcast. Today we have a special treat. In the studio, we have BJ Ojulari, number 18, defensive end for the Arizona Cardinals. I got a chance to coach BJ in high school here in Marietta, Georgia, where we won a state championship together. And then he was a standout athlete at LSU, a captain, and now he is living his dream. And you know we're all about dreams and protecting the dream. So stick around and join us. Hit the subscribe button. Share this with your friends. It's going to be a great show. What's up, everybody? Kit Cummings, Power of Peace podcast. Great to have you back in the studio for another round. Very, very excited today. Got a good friend, actually one of the best young men that I ever got to coach a little bit and hang with, BJ Ojulari. Marietta High School, welcome.
Yes, sir. Good to be here.
So let's see. Marietta High School, state champs in 2019. Mm-hmm. I got to experience that, which is cool. LSU, 3 years there. 41st pick in the draft of what year?
2023.
All right. Arizona Cardinals.
Yes, sir.
And now started as a rookie, which is kind of rare. And second team in sacks your first year?
Yeah, I was second on my team with sacks of my first year, so that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I guess so. I always say, whenever I'm describing you, and I talk about you a lot, man, because I still get to work with student athletes, the young guys, and you seem to be the one that I always kind of hold up as a model, and I talk about your family, I talk about your respect, and just the way you play the game, how hard you work, and just watching you. Were you a sophomore when we met? Maybe.
Yeah, I think I was in the sophomore year or beginning of junior.
Yeah. So we got to see like 3 seasons. So you're one of the few guys that I got to see kind of who had a dream, who worked that dream, won it all in high school, went on to Power 5, and then to the league, and got to kind of see the whole thing. So I appreciate you letting me be a part of that whole thing, man.
Yes,
so
sir.
Tell me a little bit about your family. That's one of the things I always tell. I said that young man looks like he was raised right. So tell us about your family a little bit.
I got a pretty big family. Two brothers, 2 sisters. Great mom and dad. Originally from Nigeria. They migrated over here in the 80s or 90s.
Okay.
They settled in Georgia. Started going to Marietta, going through the school system. Discovered football. We started to use football as a bonding tactic for our family, going to the games on weekends, practices, and stuff like that. But we were really raised to, respect everybody, take our academics seriously, and really instill that if you want something in life, you're going to have to work for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you had your older brother, Aziz, you got to kind of watch him do it. Did that help you kind of already have a pathway to where you wanted to go?
Yeah, most definitely. He definitely laid the blueprint. Just watching him, how he worked and what he did to get to, to the NFL, to a lot of people where a lot of people want to go, is really just how I went about the whole process. Just watching him, how he worked, how he practiced, how he talked, how he respected everybody, how he was very looked up to in the community. And that I really just looked up to him. If you don't know that, I really looked up to him, and the way he did things.
How much older is he?
He's 2 years older.
Was he at Marietta?
Yeah, he was at Marietta.
I guess that before I signed on there, so that's cool. Yeah. Was he a tough big brother? Did he push you hard? Or?
Yeah, it was always a competition.
Yeah.
I think that's what really made us, so good at what we did, because we were competing against each other. But he definitely pushed me. We fought a lot while we were younger. We butted heads, but he definitely, pushed me to be better, and I definitely pushed him to be better.
Have you guys played against each other yet?
Yeah, we played the second week, but he couldn't play because he had something going on with his hammy, so he was out for that game.
I got you. Well, that will happen again.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be cool, kind of, to watch your careers. You know what I'm saying? Right. Only a couple years apart.
Right.
He was a Bulldog, right?
Yeah, he was.
So how did you get to LSU, man? Tell me about. Well, first of all, everybody in the world, right? You had offers from everybody.
Right.
So what did that look like? I mean, that's got to be a challenge to choose something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. Choosing from all those schools, and they're all great institutions. You really can't go wrong with any of those D1 schools. It's just really the best fit for you. And you take the visits, you see yourself in the uniform, and you really have to envision yourself being here for 3 to 4 years and being able to make your dreams come true. And that's what I did at LSU. I really liked LSU, their defensive culture, and just their culture in general of the whole school. You know, what it meant to be a Tiger, not just football, but academically and the other sports. You see our gymnastics team winning, our women's basketball team winning, track and field having great athletes. So it was just a very all-around school that I really gravitated to. And I wanted something different. I always, gravitated towards the Louisiana culture, the food. And Coach O really did a great job recruiting me. And it really felt like a family environment. I actually just came back from Baton Rouge last week. And it was a great time reminiscing, seeing old faces. So it's really a decision, not just for 3 to 4 years, but for the rest of your life.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So, Coach, he was that hard when he you were there for a year?
2 years.
2 years, and then all of a sudden the coach that recruited you, he's gone. You got a new one.
Right.
Yeah. Was that a challenge?
It was challenging at first. Coach O recruited me. You want to have your whole tenure with him, but it's just part of the world that we live in. Coaching changes happen every year, all the time in the league. You're gonna go through coach changes, so it's just another obstacle, and it's training you to adapt to different cultures, different personalities, and being able to be coachable.
So you mentioned LSU gymnastics.
Yeah.
So you know Olivia?
No, I don't know her personally, but she's one of the big ones. There are a lot of great athletes on the team that are big on the gym mat and in social media. So it's big kudos to them.
No, I was laughing because when they're packing them out just to see you. That's gonna be a challenge for the teammates, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
So I want to go back to the that cool 2019 season in Marietta.
Yeah.
The way I saw it was, and I got to come in. I was blessed that the coach brought me in. I got to ride, being at practices, being at games, being on the sideline, doing all the stuff we were doing, and it was the Protect the Dream program.
Right.
So what was your first impression of the Protect the Dream program? Because I didn't know y'all. I just kind of walked into a room, and it was the coolest group. It looked like a reality TV show, man. You had guys and girls, you had track and volleyball, football, and
the best athletes too, like in the school.
Man, the influencers in the school run a little group, and y'all look at me like, who are you? Why are you here?
Right. Yeah. So at first, I didn't know what to expect. I'm pretty sure you talk about Taji a lot. So Taji was, really the one who, pushing the initiative, and that's one of my best friends. So if he believed in it, why wouldn't I? And then when you started talking about the stories of, going to the prisons and being able to change these people's mindset, and that's what was going on in our school. A lot of people were stuck in their ways, and we're the face of the school. People look up to us. So anything that we do is going to be reciprocated through the whole school.
Right.
So that was really a big message, to us that, we're going to be the beginning of something great.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. And then the way I saw it, kind of from an objective thing, is you had Power 5 guys all over the field.
Right.
Which is rare. I mean, Marietta was like, this was it. Y'all were all seniors, and you had, dudes that were going to go everywhere. I saw the biggest challenge for y'all was not can you win, it's what if you don't? It's like all the pressure was on, this is the best team in the state. They better win.
Yeah.
And then it was also like egos. You had all these egos around the field, and no doubt that you guys were the most talented, but could you come together?
Exactly.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, that's definitely what it was, especially from our sophomore year going all the way up. Like everyone saying, like our senior year, there's nothing. They're not going to set nothing else but a state championship. So we're really being groomed. Every year, the goal, with Coach Morgan is to win every game, to win state championship, but our senior year was really like, it's do or die now. Like, it's either you win the state championship or, everything was for nothing that year. So it was I wouldn't say we had pressure on us because we were just high school kids. We weren't really, thinking about it too much. We was just playing the game we love, being coachable, just trying to do our best. But we look back at it, it was really like we got to win or, we're bust.
What was this was one of the plays. You remember my partner, Roots.
Yeah.
Roots at every game, right?
Yeah.
There was, you probably don't even know this happened, bro, but it's like, were you playing like Parkview away?
Yeah,
Playoff?
semifinals.
Semifinals, huge. And there was at the end of the first half, game was tight. I don't remember what the score was, but you guys had it on like the 5. And there was less than a minute left. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then remember the trick play?
Yeah,
the coach had talked to the referee and everything.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones where Harrison's supposed to act like he was going to down it and then throw the fade.
Yeah.
And then they called it. The referee called it.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm down there in that corner where you guys are at. And I've got the superintendent, the principal, the athletic director. Everybody's packed. You guys are rock stars. So there's all these cameras and stuff around. And then you've got cops right behind us. I say all that to say this. So everybody goes nuts when they throw the flag. And then y'all are going to line it up and do it again.
Right.
And then you had that trick play.
Yeah, I think we threw it to Harrison, I think, on the trick play, right?
I think it was like Harrison goes back.
And he faded to Ricky.
The running back, flips it to Eric. Eric coming around, throws the fade to Harrison going around. Which is, I mean, that had me excited to get that play call. So we were so jacked up, man, to when he threw the fade and then he caught it. I didn't know where I was on the field, right? And so I'm way out on the field. I'm like 5 yards out on the field. And I take roots and I just throw him down. And I'm just freaking out. Yeah. The referee, like, makes a beeline toward me. And he is screaming and he's blowing his whistle and he's saying, get off the field. And I told you, I'm surrounded by everybody that is Marietta.
Right,
and he looked at me in front of God and everybody and said, do it again, I'm going to throw a flag. And I've always played that in my head. It's like y'all have the trick play. I mean, it ends up getting you the finals. You win it all. Yeah. If he'd have thrown a flag on that play, I'd have had to leave Marietta. I'd have to move, man.
See, that's crazy because we didn't even know. I didn't even know. It's, 4 or 5 years later? And I didn't even know that went on.
Oh, my God. Oh, and then I'm sorry. I pick up roots. I'm up in the corner. All of a sudden, the cop comes over to me because now he's concerned, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, why are you down here? And I said, I'm a coach. And then he goes, what do you coach?
Yeah.
And I said, character.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they get that and call the field, dude. Oh, that was fun. And then I've just got to say thank you for this. Like the championship game, Georgia State, right?
Yeah,
Where we played.
Georgia State, yeah.
It was you, Taji, Harrison, and Will Peroni.
Yep.
Captains. You guys were the original 4.
Right.
Like that we started doing this whole
the
thing
pop
with.
with. Yeah.
And so you go out, flip the coin, do the whole thing, and then you're coming off. And as y'all are walking back down to the team, y'all split off and came over and dapped me up.
Yeah.
And I was standing on the sideline. I will never, ever forget it. And then y'all gave me a ring. It's one of those special things. Being from Marietta, being a Cobb County kid. So
right.
I just always want to say that.
Oh, yeah, no problem. We appreciate you.
That was class. Yeah. So let's talk about something that a lot of people are talking about. So you're at LSU. You get, when you get there, you said coming off a championship, right? A lot of pressure.
Right.
And then what? Where'd you go?
We went 500, 5-5.
Right?
Yeah.
Next year you come back.
Another 500 season, 6-6.
And then the coach is gone.
Right.
New coach coming in. Kelly? Who came in?
Coach Kelly, Brian Kelly, yep.
What was it? Was there pressure for you to get in the portal?
So for me, a lot of people always in my ear talking about getting in the portal, you can transfer to better schools. But for me, it wasn't even about none of that. It was about my commitment to LSU. Actually loving the school over any, coaching staff or any person, actually having that love for the school and commitment to the school to be able to stay and, change the culture back to that winning culture at LSU that everyone expects. So that was my biggest thing. Knowing to have the opportunity to leave my legacy, knowing that I was, possibly going to be able to wear number 18 at LSU. So all of those things was what I was thinking about. I wasn't really thinking about leaving or, going somewhere else where it's already made and they're already winning, but staying and really, building my roots at LSU.
Yeah. So it's got to be, you've got friends that we talked about that all have utilized the portal to get to another place, hopefully give them another shot.
Right.
And so from that perspective, you probably can understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not gonna hate on anybody that's trying to put themselves in a better place.
Right.
But then as the casual fan, that sees it and it's like, dang, I can hear it from a player's point of view, but then I admire the fact that you're like, hey, I signed with y'all. I'm gonna ride the whole way with y'all. That's admirable. But now it's kind of like Coach Saban. One of the things that he said led to his retirement before anybody knew he was going to do it. He said the game has changed because the kids that are coming in from high school that he's recruiting, they want to know, how am I going to play right away, and how much you going to pay me?
Right.
And then you might keep that kid, and if he's not happy, with the playing time or whatever, can get a bigger, better deal. Now all of a sudden, the portal opens each year, and now it's kind of like you're being recruited all over again. What are your thoughts on it as a player?
Right. So as a player, I'm all for compensation. Like, if it's been a long time, players been asking for fair compensation. So I'm all for compensation, but there's sometimes it's overboard. Like, guys are asking for crazy amounts before playing a snap of football. But that's just the world we live in now. NIL wasn't a thing when I was getting recruited, so you just had to go.
You wish it was?
Yeah, I wish it was, but at the same time, money can make you make a bad decision as well. Not really looking at the school, what's going to get you to the NFL, because that's the biggest thing. Nothing is going to pay you better than the NFL. And that's what I always said to myself when NIL was being, like, my last year NIL was getting really big and guys are getting big deals. But at the same time, I always kept telling myself, no matter how much I'm getting for NIL here and there, I still got to perform on the field, because nothing is going to take care of me than getting drafted higher or, raising my stock. So eventually, NIL is going to stop. You can't be in college forever. Same with the NFL, but NFL just, pays a little better. Yeah.
It's got to be hard for families, though, because now it's like you trickle down. So now the college players, and again, from a player's perspective, they're making money. They're selling jerseys. They're doing the things they're doing. It totally makes sense. It's fair. Well, now we back it up to high school. And now these kids, you see parents moving into other districts so they can be in a winning program, so maybe they get discovered. And now I guess the high school players probably they have a shot to start earning some of that money too.
Yeah, they have a shot. They definitely have a shot to start earning, from a name, image, and likeness. We had a lot of guys on our squad that probably could have been earning a lot from
Marietta.
Yeah, on Marietta squad, probably earning a lot from name, image, likeness. But I'll say just keep it to in moderation. Keep the main thing the main thing. You got to be able to perform on the field. It matters what kind of person you are. No matter how much money you're getting, you got to worry about your character, your education, and your performance on the field. So those are really the three main things. And if you focus on that, you're going to continue to get more deals. And then you're going to be able to manage, all the new money that you had never had before and stuff like that. But a lot of people around you can influence you as well. Parents, aunts, uncles think you should do this, do that with your money and stuff like that. But you just all have to, you gotta, seek the right advice.
Yeah. So you've always had wise mentors in your life, family, good coaches. A lot of these kids, where they're coming from, they've never had it.
Right.
And the family wants it bad. It could be the way out for a lot of people. You got agents that used to not be able to talk to you at all.
Right.
It was like they couldn't buy you a cup of coffee.
Right.
And now, can they,
Yeah, agents can talk to you. They can get you marketing. They can get you deals. And that's kind of a positive if you're a recruit or you're a NFL prospect looking to go to the next level. And if you're through the NIL process, you can evaluate agencies and see who does the best job managing you, getting you marketing, and you can choose just off of your experience through the NIL. Who do you want to go with when you go pro? So that's kind of a positive out of it. Yeah.
So let's talk about this Generation Z. All right. So and the ones coming after them are alphas. I don't know what we're going to do with them. The wheelhouse that I deal with is the 14, 15, 16-year-old, typically that have gotten off track. So I do a lot of stuff, in the schools, juvenile courts, juvenile detention.
Right.
And so these are tough kids. I don't know if they believe what they say or if it's just been said so many times, but my whole thing is about dreams, right?
Right.
And so kids love these dudes. They love these little wristbands, the Protect the Dream wristband. And so they come on, Mr. Kid, give me a wristband. And I say, you got to give me a dream. All right, you give me a dream, I give you a wristband. So it's like this little game I played with them. And these little kids that had never done anything are saying they're going to the league. That is their dream. Or like in juvenile court, we have a 10-month program. And these kids really think they're going to the league, and yet they might not even be all county.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Much less. Are you seeing that? And is it like, is it me just because I've been around the sun a whole lot more times? Or seeing this generation is just, they're softer. They think things come quick, things come easy. All you got to do is start a YouTube channel or blow up your Instagram. And it's just like, are they just totally out in space?
Yeah.
Or was your generation, I mean, because I think about your life. There probably hasn't been many days in the history of your life. I don't know how many days you've been on the planet. 5,000? I don't know.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
You've worked out or played football probably 4,500 of those 5,000 days.
Right. Yeah. So, no, I'm definitely seeing a lot in kids now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still young. I'm about to turn 22 on Friday, so I'm still young, but I didn't see it as much as I'm seeing it now. A lot of people these days, younger people these days, are not really self-aware of their situations or circumstances. You know, some people, you know, they're not getting playing time or doing this or doing that, and they still feel, you know, that they can, you know, make it. And in some instances, you can, depending on your situation. But yeah, some people are just not as self-aware as they should be, you know, and like, if you're, like you said, if you're not, you know, all county or, you know, all whatever, sometimes it doesn't make a difference. But, you know, sometimes that stuff matters. It's saying that, okay, this guy is, you know, separating himself from the rest to even just make it to a Division I school, or just even go to the next level and play at any level of college football. But getting to the league is very hard. The percentage is very, very, very low.
It's like less than 1%.
Yeah,
right?
It's very, very, very low, and people think it's easy. There's a lot of guys who are even 5 stars, 4 stars, who are gonna go to college, and in 2 years you're not gonna know their name. They're gonna disappear. They were the best player in their high school, and in 2-3 years in college, you're not even gonna know where they're at anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna disappear under a roster somewhere, or transfer schools or whatever.
An injury, it can be a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen because the game is not guaranteed. You're not gonna, just because you're the man in high school don't mean you're gonna go to LSU and be the man.
That's right.
Because there are guys there who really eat, breathe, and trying to get to the league, and just,
they're all 4 and 5s there, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone is the best of the best, and then when you get to the NFL, everyone is the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's the only thing that's going to separate you is how hard you work, how hard, you know, you're in the film room, how hard you're working on your craft and technique. Are you coachable? And do you have great character? Because they all look at that. They go back all the way to your middle school.
Ooh, talk about that.
Yeah, the NFL. They're going to go all the way back to your middle school, elementary school, high school. They're going to call your teacher. They're going to call your coach. They're going to look up any police reports, any detentions or whatever. They're going to look at
social media.
Social media. They're going to go through your social media because they have access to everything.
Right.
NFL is a $1 billion corporation. They're going to find out.
They're getting ready to invest a lot of money in a dude.
Exactly. So they're going to find out when you go to meetings and they ask you questions. 9 times out of 10, they already know the answer. They just want to see if you're going to lie or how you're going to take it. So, you know, everything that you do from really when you get into middle school all the way up to the NFL is, you know, it doesn't seem that it's being tracked, but in reality, it's being tracked. Everything, every time you get written up is in a system, and they're going to be able to find it. So, you know, it's just all accumulation of knowing that is the biggest interview in your life, starting from like 6th grade. Yeah.
All right, let's do that then. Okay, so in 6th grade, when did you know the light came on and you thought you weren't one of these kids saying I'm going to the league?
Yeah.
But there was actually something, you saw a pathway to it. I mean,
Right.
How old were you when the dream kind of came to life?
So that's a great question. I always say, um, so you playing youth football. A lot of coaches say like, look around, look around. Like in reality, only one or two of you guys are gonna make it pro, even if that.
Yeah, right.
And I always used to look around and be like, man, I don't know, but damn, all these guys not gonna make it pro. And you don't want to be the guy like, oh, he ain't, everyone's like, oh, he ain't talking about me. I ain't,
Yeah.
But I genuinely felt like, well, like, I mean, I don't know how it's gonna happen. Whatever it happens, by the grace of God, like, I'm gonna be the one, who makes it pro. So I never really worried about making it pro. I always just worried about being in the moment of, what year it is, what season I'm in, what play, how many plays I got, or, you know, what workout this is. And then if I do everything to the best of my ability, with, a lot of hard work, a lot of prayer, if God has that dream for me, it's going to come true. Yeah. And I never was worried about, making it to the NFL or being stressed about this and that, because I always knew that I had the skill set, I had the, self-awareness, I had the IQ and the, and the build to be able to play at the next level. So I really didn't, stress. The biggest thing was making sure I did everything right off field. Yeah. Most of the time, guys who don't make it is either an off-field issue. 9 times out of 10 is not nothing that they did on the field. It's something that they did, decision that they made off the field. Right. And that comes from making the decision to go to the right college, making the decision to go hang around the right friends. Sometimes sacrificing, not going out, not drinking, not doing drugs. Sometimes leave that girl alone. It's not worth it. Like all those things, accumulate to sacrifices and stuff you have to do to get to that next level. And some people just can't make those decisions or give stuff up to be able to reach that next level.
Right. Would you say it was an obsession?
Football or like getting to the next level?
Your dream. Because
my dream.
I watched you in high school, and I watched other dudes in high school, right? And you kind of exemplified the protect the dream in that you seemed like you were on track to do what you were going to do, and there ain't nothing going to get in my way, and I'm going to protect this from anything that might threaten. And that, in essence, is the protect the dream program. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to have something valuable enough that's worth protecting,
right? And
then you protect it at all costs.
I'll say I didn't have an obsession with getting to the NFL. I had an obsession of not being a failure.
Ooh,
yeah,
there it is.
I didn't want to fail. I felt like if I didn't get to the NFL, I was a failure. Yeah, that's on me. Anything, I can't blame nobody else for the decisions I made or what I did on the field. Everything is on me, and that's what I had an obsession of not being a failure. So that's what really drove me, and then having respect. I wanted to be a guy that people remembered on the field, that played hard. And like from 20 years from now, they still talk about me to this day. So that's what really drove me. And then I really played for my coaches. I played for my teammates as well, because I wanted it. I wanted it for them as bad as I wanted it for myself. Okay. Especially that senior year, that for my state championship year, I played so hard. I played so hard for Coach Morgan, Coach Duke, for Coach Burnett, because I knew what it meant to them. Yeah. And I knew how much they poured into us, how much you poured into us during the summer. So the thought of failing and not being able to reach the state championship or hoist that trophy up is what was really driving me. Yeah.
No, I love it. So now once you've reached that dream, and this got to be I want it kind of twofold. One is now that you've reached that huge thing that you spent your whole life or since you were 12, whatever, what drives you now? And then for a guy who's already made it, what's the biggest dream killer out there for you?
So what drives me now is there's always more, because there's guys in the NFL with so much more and they're still going. They just want more. And for me, it's legacy. I want to be considered one of the best to ever do it. I want when people talk about me, I want to want them to say that I did it right. I played the game the right way. I did right by people, my character. So that's what really keeps me going. And there's still so much for me to learn, so much for me to do. Because I only been in the league 1 year, so I'm not even close to being fulfilled, full. There's still championships to win. There's still organizations to build. So there's a lot of things that's fueling me. Like my family, I still want a better life for my family, for my future family. And the biggest dream killer is complacency, feeling like you made it.
Okay.
Just because you got in the league, like being in the league is so cutthroat. It's definitely a business. Guys are fighting for their job every day. Every day, some guys are on the brink of getting fired, released, or whatever, having to uproot their family from wherever they are, going somewhere else, getting traded. So every day is really fighting for your job. I don't care how high you got drafted or whatever. You're fighting every day because every year they're trying to find somebody younger, faster, stronger to replace you. So you got to stay on your toes in the league.
And then you might have an injury that keeps you on the sideline. You're worried about that dude that's out there got your spot.
Right, exactly.
Even though he's a teammate, you're pulling for him. But
Right.
but that puts it in perspective, especially young dudes. At the end of the day, it's a business. I mean,
Right.
you're playing a game
It is.
that you love, but it's a business. And I don't think about it like that a lot of time.
Right.
Every single workout, you're fighting for your job.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people necessarily can see that in the job that they
Exactly.
go
It's
play
hard.
every day.
It's hard to visualize. You're doing what you love. You've been doing what you love for a long time for free, but now it's a job. You're getting paid, so they expect results. They expect production, and it's fair. It's a production-based business. Whoever is providing the most production is who's going to be on the field, because the league football it's based on wins. So who's going to give us the best opportunity to win? So
Coach fighting for his job too.
right, exactly.
General manager fighting for his job too.
Right.
It's like, and everybody's pushes it down.
Everyone is fighting for their job, so they're not going to put their job on the line to play somebody who hasn't been studying the playbook or hasn't been working out in shape or doesn't know the right calls or what to do on the field. They're not going to risk their job for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Deep. Okay, a couple things. So one thing, I love the fact that you're going to be 22 on Friday. That's a trip. I'm an April dude too.
Yeah.
And that the word you picked was legacy. I love that because I've been around the sun 3 times more than you have. That word now means something to me. You start looking at it like, what am I going to leave behind? How's the world going to be different because I walked on it. And so to have that as a young guy, and also the word, I wonder how many times you've used it, is character. And that it just, if you think that out of 100%, if you've got physical ability, genetics, technique, you're coachable, blah, 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 what percentage do you think is character for the ones that make it of that 100%?
For the 100%, I'll probably say character is about 80 to 90%.
Think about that. Because now the kids that are coming up are just freaks.
Right.
Because of the science of it, the workout technology, everything.
Innovations
Personal
and everything.
Coaching, everything. You just got, I can't believe what they're building them like.
Right.
This kid, Robinson, the running back at Georgia, you seen that kid? 7% body fat, 240, runs a 4.5.
For real?
4.4, yeah. He's crazy. He
Yeah.
was kind of dinged up this last year. But, it's just physical specimens. So if that's all it takes is talent and a body, then everybody would make it.
Right.
But what you're saying is, it's
80 to 90% character. Guys, you can have two guys who are probably even, same talented physical build, but what's the separation? Character. One guy's character can have him drafted higher. One guy's character can have him drafted lower. But character is going to take you a long way because people will remember how you treat them.
Yeah.
And, down the line, when you need a job or you want to get into coaching, you keep those relationships. People remember how you treated them, what kind of person you are. And it can help you or it can break you in the future.
every decision, man. You
Right.
think about, I mean, I think about a player right now, a team that I care a lot about, made a decision to get in the car and drive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's hard to get your head wrapped around that. There's so much to lose.
Right.
And there's so much to protect. And every little decision, like you said, I mean, it could be a relationship. It could be a bunch of new guys. It could be money. That's got to be a huge one. Money, and
Right.
you're driving a car. You're on a college campus, and you're like the it.
Yeah.
And then
Feel
it's easy to
untouchable.
forget who you are.
Right. Exactly.
And what you're trying to do. And one decision, man, especially nowadays, because there are no secrets anymore. I mean,
Cameras everywhere. Someone's gonna see you.
So how much of the coaching that goes into the day-to-day of playing in the league is character coaching? Like, do you have a whole coach that's all about that? And then how much of the routine is about that, trying to protect their investments?
Yeah, we have psychologists, doctors, everything that can help you manage your lifestyle or any problems you're going through. We have community service guy. Our community service guy name is Adam. He's a great guy. He gets us out in the community, reaches out to guys, gets our face out there, shows us in the community. We have at LSU we had Dr. Selton. She was a mental preparation coach, just breaking down the stages of getting ready for game day, preparation through the week, not getting your your heart rate up before the game, staying calm until you hit your optimal level before you walk out to the field and stuff like that. So there's
It's a science.
it's a science to everything. There's a plethora of resources that we have to be successful. So a lot of these teams, they invest in, not just facilities, workouts, and, nutrition and stuff, but mental, a lot of mental stuff. Because the game is really, really all up here.
Yeah.
Most of the guys who are, your favorite guys, your top guys who are the best in the league, they're firing on a different rate up here.
Right.
Their processing is crazy. They're making decisions like this, and that's what really making them, helping them make those plays.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Well, kind of wrapping up a little bit, man. This has been awesome. And so we've gone on. Time flew. I always like to try to imagine what it felt like when you were sitting there on draft night, and just, I mean, every player that's chosen, you're probably surrounded by your family, and you've been waiting on this thing. I mean, one of the coolest things I think about this life that you have is you have a moment. Most people, their dream kind of shows up over time, like mine has. It's just like you're hustling. It took 20 years to build this and to get to a point. But yours is like in a moment. I mean, so what's that moment feel like? Is there adrenaline pumping? Are you thinking worst case scenarios? You starting to count, look at teams or
Right.
what?
Because you don't know where you're going. There's only a certain amount of guys that know, like, okay, these are the guys that are going to go in top 10, like, for sure. These guys ain't, and still, you never know. Something can come out. People release stuff that, character issues and stuff that can make you drop in the draft, so you never know. I was expected to go in the first round, and so I was real nervous. Your heart beating every pick. You keep checking your phone, and just stuff like that. And the first day I didn't go, and I was really bummed out. I was really sad. I didn't try to show it. I remember everyone left after the first day. I went downstairs. I just couldn't hold it in no more. I was shedding some tears. And then the second day came. I had my family around me. My brother, he went through the same thing. So he was there coaching me through the whole thing.
So he didn't get taken in the first round?
Right, yeah. He didn't get taken in the first round either. And he was expected to go in the first round. And then he was coaching me through the second day. It's going to come, be patient. And I really say he was probably the most excited when I got drafted.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was probably the most excited when I got drafted. So having him, like I said earlier, the blueprint, having him gone through the process, just a little easing factor for me, helped coach me through the whole thing. And it was a great experience when I got that call. Monty, our GM for the Arizona Cardinals, he called me. He put our head coach on the phone. And it was just surreal. I remember like it was yesterday. I remember what I was wearing, who was sitting beside me and everything. So you said, yeah, like that one moment your dreams are realized right there. In that moment, I didn't even think about yesterday, the day before, or not going. Like, I was just so excited and blessed. And now thinking about it, God does everything for a reason.
There you go.
And I feel like I'm in the right position to do that everything that I want to do. I'm at the right organization. I'm surrounded by the right coaches. I'm surrounded by the right, owner, GM, and to achieve everything that I want to achieve.
See, this is refreshing, man.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody, especially young dudes that are watching or listening to this, it's just it all just makes sense, man.
Right.
It makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, when did Aziz get picked overall?
He went 50.
Yeah. So you always got that.
Yeah, so I beat him, yeah.
That's funny. Okay, so let's see. Just to wrap it up, what is the lasting impression you have of the Protect the Dream program?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was if there was something that kind of impacted you carry on? Because obviously we're trying to help more and more student athletes to do exactly what you're doing in every way.
So one thing that I carried on was when we had those sessions in the summer. Just us coming together and as a team building that chemistry and realizing that our mission or our goal is bigger than any one of us in the whole room.
Okay.
That was probably the biggest thing. And I think that was those sessions was really the last thing that we needed to go out and do what we did that season. Our chemistry, guys laid it on the line for each other every Friday. And we really understood, what it meant to be a teammate, not just a teammate, but a brother to another brother. And I think that was really what, impacted me the most and what I still carry on while I play in any setting. When I took the LSU, what I'm taking to the Arizona Cardinals is that brotherly feeling, playing for the guy next to you and not just, playing for yourself.
That was a big theme. I remember, because summertime, dudes get in trouble, or lose focus, not really put in the work. And that fall, you got that was your big dream before you even get to LSU in the league. And so I remember a lot of what we talked about was hold that brother next to you accountable. And so if he's at a party and it ain't the kind of party you need to go, let's go get your brother. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're starting to slack off in school and you're the kind of guy that can go and snatch your brother up, say, come on, man. I mean, there's accountability. It takes not just handling your own business, but, your brother's business too.
Right.
Does that translate into the league? I mean, are you your brother's keeper? I mean, is that the kind of thing? If you see, because it's a bunch of millionaires running around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody's got their own life. It's got to be hard to have that same accountability, but is it there?
Yeah, it's definitely there. It's hard. It's harder because, guys are grown. They got money. They make their own decisions. But at the same time, there's still instances where if you go out, someone has a couple of drinks, too much to drink, you're a teammate, just call an Uber for him. Like, leave the car, call an Uber, we'll come back and get it tomorrow. Little stuff like that. Some guys have relationships, stuff that's, not good environment. If you're in a toxic relationship, call one of your teammates. Talk to him about it. Maybe he's went through it. Call one of the coaches, because at the same time, we need you to be on that field, and we don't want you to do anything bad that's going to hurt your career, hurt your image, and hurt the people that you love, most importantly. So there's a lot of resources, and, sometimes you're not comfortable sharing stuff with the coaches or the front office and stuff, because at the same time, there are employers. Right. So they're, they might have a certain view and stuff like that. So there's a lot of guys, especially if you're a rookie, there's a lot of guys that you can lean on, vets, older guys that been through, a lot of things, seen a lot of things in the league that can definitely, guide you into the right direction.
Got you. That's awesome. Last thing, if you had one piece of advice to give to the junior that's getting a lot of attention and he's kind of the man of his school, got some talent, but all the threats that are out there in today's world.
Right.
Then what would it be?
Stay humble. Stay grounded. Continue to do what got you to the position that you are now, and treat everybody as equals. Don't brush nobody off. Look people in the eye when you shake their hand. Give them the respect that you expect, that you deserve. Because you never know who you're talking to. You never know who's in what kind of position or what kind of impact that you can have in somebody's life.
Love it. Mad respect, man.
Sure.
I'm proud of you. Love you. Huge fan. I've got Arizona roots, so I ain't mad at you. I get the phone for you.
Yeah.
Bringing Joy Foundation. Close out with that. What's your dream with that?
So hopefully, I can make it into an official foundation and start doing more than just, the Christmas giveaways that we do. And then just branch off into, full scale, foundation, and really giving back to the people who need it and the people who deserve it.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's cool, and I'm glad that we get to be a part of that with you.
Yes,
for
sir.
those that don't understand, in Christmas time, BJ picks some families and that aren't going to have a good Christmas, and then we go to Target this last time, and I'm telling you, load it up. This little family that doesn't have much gets $1,000 to go crazy, and we get to see the kids. So keep doing what you do, man.
Sir.
Really, really, really.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Let's do this again. All right, we're going to sign off. Hey, hit that subscribe button. Share this. If you know a young person that's going to the league, have them listen to this dude and come back and see us. And as always, Michael, the producer, thanks, bro. You're the best, man. We will see you next time. In the meantime, be the change you wish to see in the world. See you next time. Peace.